Hello, and welcome to our final project on weather. Before we begin, I want to give you an overview of the students. The students are in 5th grade, and they have a variety of ethnicities and socioeconomic backgrounds. They also know the basic when it comes to weather. They can identify different types of weather, such as sunny, snowy, or rainy, and they can identify different temperatures. This unit is meant to be a general introduction to the causes of weather events, not just the identification of different types of weather. This particular 5th grade class learns best by getting involved in what they are learning. They are a very active group that needs to be involved in the learning process via interactive lessons. All the students possess an iPad and they are used to using these in their class daily. I also find that my students learn best from hands-on experiences and while listening and reading information. I try to incorporate both of these strategies to help both learners. Before we begin, I want to go over what the students will be learning. Students will describe ways the geosphere, biosphere, and hydrosphere and atmosphere interact to create different weather patterns. They will also be able to predict weather phenomena based on weather information obtained from weather tools. They will be able to summarize information about different weather patterns, and they will use knowledge from interactive simulations, videos, and tools to provide weather-specific information regarding extreme weather events. This focuses on the level of processing theory. This theory states that the information is simultaneously processed at different levels depending upon the mode of delivery and the relevance of information. For example, information with multiple connections to previous knowledge will be processed more deeply than that information of facts. So the students really relate to weather because it's an everyday occurrence, so they have more of a learning and understanding for it. We're going to begin with our first day, which is the introduction. So today we're going to learn about ways the geosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere interact to create different weather patterns. So on the first day, we're going to start by watching a crash course video. This video is very engaging to students, and it really focuses on the air masses and the fronts and how they're created. After, the class will create a KWL worksheet. So this worksheet, the students will fill out what they know, what they want to know, and then they can even fill out what they learned already from the video. Then they go to the Layers of the Earth graphic organizer. So this is where the students will learn about the layers of Earth and how they create different weather patterns. I like to also make motions for each weather each layer of the Earth to get them up and moving and more interactive into the lesson. Day 2, we do a weather walk. So this weather walk is where students can take their iPads or paper and pencil, and we're going to observe the weather. So we can write down what we see, hear, feel, and smell. And I try to inform the students that we need to focus on more of the weather and not what is just around us. So we can see rain or sunshine or clouds. We can hear wind or thunder or birds chirping. Maybe we can feel the wind blowing or snow underneath our feet or rain dropping on us. And then we can smell the green grass, the cold snow, maybe flowers because it's sunny out or warm out. So those are some examples of what the students would write down. After, we'd come back and we'd discuss what we see and how it relates to weather. On the third day, we really focus on the climate and fronts. And I feel like this is the most important lesson because it explains how weather is formed. So we're going to review about our nature walk or weather walk that we just did the previous day. And then the students are going to learn about climate and fronts through a keynote or any other form of presentation. Once they've learned about the fronts and climate, they'll be able to play on the Scholastic Interactive Weather Maker. I love this simulation because they can control the weather by controlling the temperature of the equator, the polar temperatures, and then the humidity. So once they play with those different levels, they can see how weather is formed. So if you add a lot of humidity, obviously there's going to be a lot of water in the air, so there might be snow or rain depending on the temperature that you change. This really shows them how to become interactive with weather and gives them a clear idea of how weather is formed. On the fourth day, we learn about the meteorological tools. So we learn about these through a presentation, and then we can play with the Smithsonian Disaster Detective Simulation to explore the different weather events. And we can move to that next. Through the simulation, they will learn to use and read several different meteorological tools, such as the anemometer, the thermometer, the barometer, and the seismometer. They will also learn how the atmospheric layers, fronts, temperatures, and atmospheric pressures interact to create different extreme weather events. This simulation is very interactive, and it takes students step by step on each weather tool. This is also very realistic to a game that they could play at home, so they're very involved and very interactive with it. On the fifth day, students are introduced to the Whether or Not webquest. So students will be put into pairs, and their partners will visit the Whether or Not webquest in order to familiarize themselves with their final project. So on this day, we will be used to ensure understanding of the project and to ask any questions. This handout attached is given to each student so they understand the roles that they have, and also the rubric is attached so they know exactly what the teacher is looking for. This is the webquest that the students will be visiting. So on the first day is just an introduction. So it tells the students that they're going to learn about extreme weather, and then you can see at the top there's different things. So we're going to go next to the tasks. So what will the students be doing? The task. So this explains what students will be doing. You and your partner will create a weather forecast using iMovie. Again, the students are really familiar with their iPads and iMovie, so this is not another learning task that you're going to learn how to use it. They have already known. And then with the iMovie, your weather forecast will include 5 facts about a dangerous type of weather, and then 5 ways to help prepare for the extreme weather. We also like to relate this to news events that are happening in today's world, such as the hurricane that just came, and we can relate how this video that we're making can help others in other places. So then you can click on the next tab, which takes you to the process, and it gives you a step-by-step process on what students should be doing. So number 1, they should select extreme weather that they would like to research. I let the students select because they do better when they have choice. The next thing is they're going to research that extreme weather. They're going to find 5 important facts and then 5 ways to prepare for that weather. The links are attached to the word. So if you click on flood because you're researching flood, that link will take you right to the website where they can do all their research. And then it says what to take notes on. Number 3, they will then create an iMovie. So one partner will present the meteorologist, and the other is the newscaster. So the meteorologist describes the weather and answers the question. So it states the 5 facts. Then the newscaster shares how to prepare for the extreme weather. This is a great project because it lets students have ownership of their presentations and it shows their creative side. Then the evaluation is given, so the rubric again is posted on the webquest. And then the conclusion is a fun way to show that they can be meteorologists with the information that is given to them. So day 6 and 7 is used for research. Again, they can click on the links to take them to the websites that give them the information, and then a research helper paper is given to them to help fill out and organize their thoughts. Here is an example of a student's filled out version, and you can see that it's color coded. So the blue might be the meteorologist and how to prepare for weather, and then the green might be the reporter reporting on the extreme weather. So it's organized and color coded and filled out to the best of the ability. Day 8 is the final day of research. So this is the last day to get any facts or anything that you need to get. If you're done early, students are allowed to go join the NASA Climate Time Machine. So again, this is another simulation that is given for students to experience what weather has done in the past. So you can see from many years ago what the world looked like, and then now, and you can see how weather had affected it. And day 9 is the presentation. So this is where students will show what they have learned through interactive simulations, videos, and tools, and they will present their information given to you. Again, students will be graded through the rubric that was given out on the handout and on the WebQuest. And then they're also going to fill out a Google form as a reflection. So how did they do? How were they interactive with their group members? Were they focused? And then there's also some small assessments that were given after the small lessons, such as the weather tools and the climate and fronts. So I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you can use some of our tools on weather.